I'm a philosophy professor. People usually think of philosophy as being kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from sports. But it's an interesting fact that the Olympics began in ancient Greece, the same place philosophy began, pretty close to one another, roughly the same time that the Greeks were coming up with the idea of democracy. And actually the things have a lot more in common than you might recognize. Initially, the Greeks would have the games every 4 years, and they would call a truce. All wars in Greece would be called off for the duration of the game. So from the very beginning, the Olympics were seen as an alternative to war, and as a form of kind of managed competition in a way that wasn't as destructive of life and property. Competition has gone on to become a very important part of our lives. We're a very competitive society, and competition is a very powerful force that drives our economy and our world and pushes us towards progress. One of the drawbacks of competition, however, is that there tends to be a gap between winners and losers, and we found economically that gap tends to go farther and farther as time goes on. But one interesting thing about sports, however, is similarly in sports we like competition, but we've actually done a very good job of managing the inequality in sports. If you think about it, we have a system set up, we tweak the rules to make the game competitive, and then at the end of the season, the teams with the worst records get the best draws, and the teams with the best records get the worst draws, because it keeps the game competitive, and that's what we like. So I think it's an interesting fact that although we're struggling to find a way to have an economy that is competitive and pushes progress, we've actually managed to do that with sports. And although we think of athletics and professional sports as something kind of less serious, as entertainment, I think we should take it seriously as an example of our solving a problem that's very important in other parts of our lives.